Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3, and in your top stories at this hour. First up, a chartered flight carrying Palestinians seeking refugee status in South Africa has landed in Johannesburg earlier today.
The chief of staff, straight out, he said that he was thumb-sucking. We didn't get the same thing from the other witnesses.
The EFF has laid perjury charges against the suspended police minister Senzo Mchunu chief of staff, Cedric Nkabinde, at the Cape Town Central Police Station for misleading Parliament's ad hoc committee during his testimony. Meanwhile, the Madlanga Commission has been furnished with video footage which shows the suspended EMPD acting chief of police, Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi, telling the former city manager, Dr. Imogen Mashazi, "We will die for you and I will take a bullet for you."
I can tell you now, if I were to say I must close NSFAS, I would close NSFAS with my eyes closed. Tomorrow, boom, close it.
And Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana says one of the institutions that he would close without hesitation as part of managing government's expenditure is the National Student Financial Aid Scheme. A very good evening to you and welcome to your daily dose of primetime action. My name is Beki Mutumomolete and this is Prime News on SABC 3. Plenty to get through today, and with that said, let's get straight into our leads. A chartered flight carrying Palestinians seeking refugee status in South Africa has landed in Johannesburg today. Gift of the Givers facilitated the humanitarian effort with other civil society partners and will provide further assistance such as legal and medical care. The Border Management Authority acted in keeping with their mandate in not allowing passengers without an exit stamp to disembark. According to Gift of the Givers, Israel deliberately did not stamp the passports of the refugees to exacerbate their suffering in a foreign country. But the Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Ronald Lamola, and Home Affairs intervened and waived this requirement. Gift of the Givers say that the assistance of the government is in keeping with South Africa's policy of standing with Palestine by taking Israel to the International Court of Justice, the International Criminal Court, and garnering a boycott of that country at Bogota.
There's probably about 120 people left on board. We're still waiting for what is happening. We understand a number of people are trying to get flights to go to third countries. We have people offering to purchase those tickets for people wanting to go to third countries. I've spoken to families that there's some families here that are, for example, there's one woman who has got a daughter and a sister in Canada. She's lost 17 family members. And she just wants to be reconciled with her family, and she's asking that border management allow her to go back. We also, there's a lot of refugees, probably 75% have asked to apply for for asylum in South Africa, and we understand that border management is denying that, which I believe is unlawful in terms of South African law.
Next up, tempers flared in Parliament today as Police Ministry Chief of Staff Cedric Nkabinde gave testimony before the ad hoc committee probing corruption and political interference in the justice system. His statements appeared to contradict the earlier testimony by Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, raising fresh questions about the minister's relationship with Northwest businessman Brown Mokgotsi.
Nkabinde confirmed that he facilitated a key meeting between Minister Mchunu and Mokgotsi, described in earlier evidence as very close to the minister. Now, this disclosure comes amid probing questions about possible links between Mokgotsi and the controversial decision to disband the political Killing Stars team. Nkabinde insists those claims are untrue, saying he merely arranged for formal meetings in an official capacity and knows Mokgotsi only as a guest.
Join Ministry office in August. I only recall one meeting which I facilitated between Minister and Brown Mokhotsi, who in turn arrived with several other people, 4 or 5 of them. Then I also recall facilitating a second meeting with the Brown Mokhotsi, which that meeting could not materialize.
Members of Parliament grilled Ngabinde over WhatsApp messages allegedly linking him to Mokhotsi. Ngabinde maintained he had never met Mokhotsi before facilitating the meeting, describing him as just a guest arranged through official channels. The atmosphere in the chamber grew tense as MPs pressed for clarity.
Are you friends with Mokhotsi?
No, Chair.
So do you receive stupid messages from people who are not your friends? Because normally people who send each other stupid messages are friends.
Chair, the messages I regard as is not a message that someone is chatting to you. When a person is sending an article as a breaking news article, you just ignore it. Oh, it's just breaking news to people that he knows.
The hearing heated up when EFF leader Julius Malema reminded Ngabinde that he was under oath, accusing him of changing his statements when it suited him.
Chief of Staff, is this affidavit your affidavit?
Yes, it's correct.
Do you confirm everything that is in this affidavit?
It's correct.
Did you have your gadgets when you were writing this affidavit?
No, dates I was thumb sucking.
So we are being given a thumbs-up information here in front of the nation, and we must accept that.
The sitting was adjourned after Ngabinde continued giving conflicting evidence. The committee is expected to resume questioning in the coming days as pressure mounts on the police minister to account for alleged political interference.
And the Economic Freedom Fighters Party has since laid perjury charges against Ngabinde at the Cape Town Central Police Station.
When he started his statement, right, we even adjourned for a good 3 or 4 hours because he came with a statement that was from the commission. So you cannot say that as the EFF we have not been fair, number one. Number two, it only came to light during Becky Tele's statement that Lieutenant General gave incorrect information. The President, Commander-in-Chief, was the first one to stand up and say there must be apology, he must come back here and he has to amend the statement. So when he comes back, we will make a decision on whether we also need to go and open a case. Remember, the Chief of Staff, straight out, he said that he was thumb sucking. We didn't get the same thing from the other witnesses.
To the break, President Ramaphosa says infrastructure investment is the most effective lever to growing an economy, and Finance Minister says he would not hesitate to close NSFAS. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. As we continue with matters in the country's criminal justice system, the Madlanga Commission has been furnished with video footage which shows the suspended EMPD Acting Chief of Police, Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi, telling the former city manager, Dr. Imogen Mashazi, "We will die for you and I will take a bullet for you." This as the probe continues to hear evidence that Mashazi allegedly led the charge in providing a shield from accountability for Mkhwanazi, who faced a slew of allegations of misconduct within the EMPD.
The earlier evidence laid before the Madlanga Commission, where it was implied that former Ekurhuleni City Manager Dr. Imogen Mashazi's alleged protection of now suspended acting EMPD Chief, Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi, was due to a proximity, was further qualified with video footage where Mkhwanazi, in jubilant praises to Mashazi, made a declaration that he would quote-unquote die for her and quote-unquote take a bullet for her.
We will die for you. We will take a bullet for you. Thank you so much. Yes.
Former Ekurhuleni Employee Relations Head, Xolani Nxiza, who acquired the video mid-2024, testified that it illustrated the changing dynamics in the city between February 2023 and December 2023, where Mkhwanazi allegedly escaped any form of accountability following the allegations of misconduct against him, and instead got rewarded with a promotion.
In fact, we've even gone to change processes that have been there, processes that have stood the test of time, just like that, they've been changed.
Mliza further testified that he read Nkwanazi's statement of "I will take a bullet for you" as one that went far beyond the ordinary sense of a protector, which prompted questions from the Commission's bench on the appropriateness of this statement from a subordinate to their superior.
This statement to be a statement that is issued by a person who truly believes in the relationship that they have with the other person, and therefore I would go to the ends of the world for you, because I am where I am and who I am because of you, my mother.
The hearings continue. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Pretoria.
In more related news, KwaZulu-Natal police say that they are preparing 2 dossiers for referral to the Provincial Director of Public Prosecutions and the Magistrates Commission. This is to request clarification on the reasons for entering into a plea agreement for a lesser sentence for controversial businessman James Sharnik, who was charged with serious crimes. Addressing the media in Durban, KZN Acting Head of Detectives Major General Anthony Gopal said Sharnik was involved in at least 29 cases.
10 of these 29 dockets where part of that plea was related to theft of motor vehicle. The cover of the docket, the charge, the vehicle involved, it's a theft of motor vehicle. 8 of these 29 cases that I'm referring to were cases of carjacking. I cannot prescribe or comment on it. It is something for the NPA to comment on as to how they arrived at that plea for so many of these cases. And you consolidate all these 18 dockets, you call it one case, and you give one sentence of 5 years suspended, and you say there's a fine that you can pay of 150,000 rand over 5 years.
Minister Enoch Godongwana says one of the institutions that he would close without hesitation as part of managing government's expenditure is the National Student Financial Aid Scheme. He says some of his cabinet colleagues have vested interests and defend the existence of these institutions.
Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana spoke of lessons learnt when the GNU partners were at loggerheads about the national budget early this year.
I can tell you now, if I were to say I must close NSFAS, I would close NSFAS with my eyes closed. Tomorrow, boom, close it. Because what does NSFAS do? NSFAS is supposed to be taking money from the Department of Higher Education and transferring it to universities. You don't need that conduit. You just need to transfer money to universities, finish the university do the task. But we created some strange thing called NSFAS.
The NSFAS head office in Cape Town overlooks the ocean with a lease of about 2.5 million rand per month. He says he was surprised to also receive a positive response from other 2 parties that are outside the GNU. Lulama Maitya, SABC News, Cape Town.
Infrastructure development is a major driver of economic development and is likely to revive the South African economy. That's according to President Cyril Ramaphosa, who says that infrastructure investment is the most effective lever to growing an economy.
We have the money, we have the leadership, we have the opportunity. Just go and construct South Africa.
A definite instruction from President Cyril Ramaphosa to the building and construction sector. He says the construction industry is the flywheel that will propel the South African economy. Over 130,000 jobs were created by the sector, according to the latest quarterly labor survey. And the medium-term budget policy statement by the Minister of Finance stated that capital projects will increase by 7.5% in the medium term.
And there, where there is no real maintenance, investors will leave, businesses will relocate.
Government government has allocated 1 trillion rands to infrastructure development over the medium term. The administration wants to turn the country into a construction site to transform the economy.
Investors want to see beautiful infrastructure, beautiful buildings, durable infrastructure. That is what attracts them.
Over the past year, government, business, labour and civil society have worked hand in hand to lay that foundation for what we finally see today, a nation under construction which is creating record jobs in the sector.
President Ramaphosa wants investors and tourists to see the country as a nation at work. Samkele Masego, SABC News, Boksburg.
SABC, host broadcaster of the G20 South Africa 2025. SABC, host broadcaster of the G20 South Africa 2025.
Thank you for staying with us. Former ANC Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe says that the SACP's decision to contest the upcoming local government elections alone will fragment the alliance. Motlanthe was speaking at the ANC Political School in Kimberley under the theme The Alliance at a Crossroads, Where We Come From and Where We're Headed.
What would be the implications or consequences of our implementation? That's the next step. Then you work out what the implications are. And part of the implications are that, what do you do with dual membership?
Springbok coach Rassie Erasmus has made 11 changes to his starting 15 for their year-end test against Italy in Turin on Saturday. Flanker Siyakolisi will captain the new-look team. The bench sees a 6-2 split, with Grant Williams and Mani Libok the only backs amongst the replacements.
The only players who retained their places in the starting 15 are prop Boan Venter, Kolisi, wing Kurtley Arendse and fullback Damian Willemse. Erasmus also decided to stick with most of the bench that started against France, except for loose forward Kwagga Smith, who replaces Johan Grobelaar.
Definitely we are saving, what's his name, Thomas a little bit for the Irish Test match, because we won't have him after that match when we play Wales, because that's outside the window. We felt Boan is now on cap 7 and he's doing pretty well. Grobis is on cap 5 or 6. He did really well when he came on, even only for 5-6 minutes.
The Boks have lost only once to Italy in 18 outings and are the overwhelming favourites to notch up another win, as they continue to show just why they considered the team to beat at the moment. Liesel Willifier, SABC News.
As we sign off for the night, we leave you with a promise that we will be back with more tomorrow. Thank you for watching Prime News on 3. From myself, Becky, and the team, stay ahead of the curve. Weather forecast is up next. Good night.
Thank you very much, and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. It was fine skies over the western parts of South Africa today, but some partly cloudy skies across the central interior and the eastern provinces, especially along the coastal areas of KwaZulu-Natal. And for tonight, there is still a very good chance of thunder showers throughout the high-lying areas of Mpumalanga. There is only a slight chance of some thunder showers extending all the way towards KwaZulu-Natal. And for tomorrow morning, some fog patches over the eastern escarpment in the midlands of KwaZulu-Natal, possibly reducing visibility on the roads in the early hours of the morning. But these conditions are expected to improve, and then later on in the afternoon, a band of thunder showers can be expected over the northeastern provinces of South Africa, mostly isolated. But for tonight, there is a level 2 warning of some severe thunderstorms in the Mpumalanga province, and for tomorrow, some fell fires over the western interior as a result of very hot, dry and windy conditions. And for tonight, a minimum of 14 degrees for Johannesburg, a minimum of 18 for Musina and Polokwane, 19 degrees over the city of eThekwini, a minimum of 16 degrees along the coastal areas of the the Eastern Cape and towards the Western Cape in Cape Town, dropping to a minimum of 16 degrees overnight. But very warm weather conditions for tonight are expected over Springboks at 23 and rising to a very hot 35 degrees for tomorrow afternoon, and scorching temperatures in Calvinia and Uppington in the Northern Cape, reaching a maximum of 38 degrees. Otherwise, pleasant temperatures can be expected in most areas of South Africa for tomorrow afternoon. And that is all from the weather desk.